Welcome back to the Twisted Worlds. It is time for another showdown. Gordur versus Saria. And now, before we get into it, I gotta do the usual content creator plugging things that I normally really don't do. I'm trying to get into it, get more people involved. So, consider it exposure therapy for it, I guess. The roll of the dice is chaos, but it's not as chaotic as the algorithm. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Let's get into it. Gordur and Saria, quietly drinking their tankards of beer under the moonlit night, the calm before the storm of steel and blood. A pre-combat ritual to Gordur, but to Saria, it is a last drink. It is a last drink before the end of a long cursed life. As they finish their drinks, Saria reaches for her daggers and checks them to see if they are in peak condition. Gordur does the same with his axe. Both stand and take a few paces and are ready for their impending battle. Well, let's get to it. As they stand, they turn to see each other. Gordur and Saria. Are ready for a new fight. Now, as they ready themselves for combat and taking a combative stance, I hope you're ready for a very, very rough fight. Win or lose, it won't end with me. It will also end. It will only end when the spirit warrior arrives. Are you ready? The only way to end this nightmare. Is to finally put an end to this curse. I'm ready. They turn and are ready to face each other. As they do, the stance becomes more and more aggressive. They move to strike. Combat is initiated. Rolling for initiative. Saria is going first. She strikes at Gordur. Misses. She strikes again, only to miss. She misses once more. And misses once again. Gordur's turn. He enters a rage. And then he strikes at the woman. He hits. Should really this way. Let's see. No, that's easily calculable. He attacks again. He narrowly misses the woman. He attacks once more. Misses. Attacks once again. And misses. Saria strikes at Gordur. Missing. She strikes again at him. Misses. Strikes again. Misses and strikes once again. And misses. Oh boy. Gordur now strikes at Saria. Misses. He strikes again. Oh my god, Gordur. He got a critical. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. So, that's max roll. Really big hits on Saria. He strikes on Saria, missing, and he strikes once more. What the? What in the ever living? That is another critical. I I seriously don't know what's happening right now. And no, I did not give him any items or abilities that boost crit chance. Uh, This is a legitimate nat 20. Twice in a row now. Well, not in a row, but you get the idea. This is insane. This is an insane start. Gordur slices at the woman with his axe. A fatal wound appears on her chest. She falls to the ground dead. But Gordur knows her secret. She may die, but she doesn't stay dead. As such, the woman's wound heals. She stands back up, ready for another round. She lunges at Gordur. Let's see. Narrowly misses. Strikes again. Misses. Strikes again. And misses. Strikes once more. Narrowly misses. Gordur retaliates with reckless abandon. He misses, but double roll. Yay. He attacks once more. Misses. Attacks again. What the frick, Gordur? That is another critical. What the hell are you on, my guy? I don't... Oh my god. That's easily calculable. And he attacks once more. I swear, Gordur, if this is another 20. Okay, no, he misses. Saria attacks Gordur. Misses. She attacks once more. Misses. Attacking Gordur again. Okay, she hits. Strikes again. Misses. And misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon on the woman. Okay, he hits, and it's not a critical. Surprisingly, it's close, though, but... But still. Closer to the microphone so you can all enjoy the dice sounds this time around. I probably shouldn't have done that. That is my lowest roll yet. I'm serious. That's just one off from minimum damage. Alright. Gordur attacks. Misses. He attacks once more. Misses. Saria attacks. Misses. Hits. She attacks again. Hits. She attacks once more and misses. Gordur attacks Saria. Reckless abandon. Misses. 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 And misses. Saria attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks once more. And Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon against Saria. He hits. Attacks once more. Misses. He attacks again. Misses. And attacks once more. And misses. Saria attacks Gordur. Misses. She attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. And attacks again. And misses. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. I'm not sure if this is going to get the view count I want, but if anyone is watching all these videos up to this point, please, if you're good at data, freaking figure out what the miss rate I roll all my dice are, because I'm sure it's ridiculously high at this point. I lost track. Gordur attack. Miss. Gordur attack. Miss. Okay. Let's go to Saria's turn now. Saria. Attack. Miss. Saria attacks. Misses. Saria attacks. Hits. Saria attacks once more and misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. He attacks once more. Hits. He attacks. Saria attacks. Gordur attacks, miss. Gordur attacks once more. Misses. Okay, Saria's turn. She attacks. Misses. Attacks. Hits. She attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon against Saria. He hits. Another fatal wound on Saria. She's weakened. She's weakened down and lies to the ground lifeless. Then she rises once more. Looking drained, but still able to fight. She attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. And attacks. Misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. What the ever-living hell are you on, Gordur? Oh my god. That is another crit. He attacks Saria again. Hits. He attacks again. Misses. Okay. Saria attacks Gordur and misses. She attacks again. Misses. She attacks. Misses and attacks again. Miss. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon on the woman. He hits. He attacks again. Misses. Terribly, but never double roll. I like those. He attacks. Hits. He attacks again. Hits. Good job, Gordur. And attacks again. Misses. Saria attacks. Miss. And misses. Hits. Attacks again. Misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. Saria taking another lethal blow. Falls to the ground dead once more. But then rises once again. Worn out, not much fight left for her. Gordur attacks. Misses. He attacks again. Okay, Gordur, another critical. I swear, if I'm not missing, I'm getting more crits than hitting. Gordur attacks. Hits again. Okay. All right. Saria attacks Gordur. Misses. Misses. Hits. Attacks. Misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. Attacks once more. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. He attacks once more. And miss. Saria attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Attacks again. Misses. Alright, Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. He hits. He attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks once more. Misses. Saria attacks. Misses. Misses. Hits. And attacks again. Misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. He hits. As he strikes her once more, she once again falls to the ground dead. Only to rise once more. She's at her physical peak now. But Gordur can see in the look of her face, she is completely mentally anguished. Immortality does not stop pain. She has experienced death 4 times in a row now, with no rest. The mental exhaustion on her face shows. You did pretty good, big boy. Gordur, barely feeling exhaustion, knows however, he can still see anguish in her. That is drawing some exhaustion to him. Gordur is mentally exhausted himself. For even though he barely took any physical damage, the fact that he had to kill the same person multiple times in such a short while and see them experiencing that anguish and pain is enough to draw on him. As they stare at each other, a light mist encapsulates the battlefield. It's here. The spirit. Walking aimlessly through the mist. Is a man, ethereal, the body can be seen, but also can be seen through. This being is in the form of a man, rugged, full plate armor, but withered in time. Upon hair grown as long as it can, facial hair untrimmed, wild, frantic, the unkempt hair chaotic in nature. Upon walking further, Saria and Gordur see the blank, lifeless stare of the spirit. As they move forward, preparing for combat. The ghost fades. They are unsure where it went. As he reappears behind Saria, strikes her through with a giant sword and a ethereal blade. A new sensation comes over Saria, one she has not truly felt. A cold, draining feeling. She looks to Gordur, and Gordur to her. This is it. Finally. True death. She is draining. She's being drained of all her life. As such, when she finally breathes her last, death has claimed her. Her her spirit drained, and as such, her body thrown to the ground, completely lifeless. Gordur remembers a name written in the old journal. Barrismong. The spirit looks up and looks to Gordur. The only thing it can remember and recognize is its own name. It draws its giant two-handed sword, ready to fight Gordur. Rolling for initiative. Double roll. Good job, Gordur. And Barrismong goes first. Barrismong attacks Gordur, dissipating and reappearing behind him. Gordur manages to dodge the blow in time to enter a rage and attack with reckless abandon on the spirit. He hits. Actually, I should use this instead. Yep. Gordur attacks again. Misses. He attacks once more. Hits. He attacks. Okay, Gordur, what the hell's with you today? I appreciate it, but seriously, another critical? You're either missing or critting more than you're hitting. I just don't know. Oh, thank God, easily calculable. Gordur attacks again. Hits. Spirit attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Yowza. Yep. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Attacks. Hits. Please just give me easily calculable numbers from now on. Gordur attacks. Hits. Barrismong attacks Gordur. Hits. Attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. Attacks. Hits. Da, 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 da. Gordur. Really? Another critical Gordur? Barrismong attacks. Hits. Misses. 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 Okay. Gordur attacks. Misses. Hits. Gordur attacks again. Gordur! What the? That's another critical. Frick. And yeah, miss. Okay, Barrismong's turn. Attack. Miss. Attacks. Hits. This is gonna sting. Yep, it definitely stung. Attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Hits. Gordur attacks. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Once more for the feels and nope. Barrismong attacks Gordur. Hits. Attacks. Hits again. Oh no. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks. How? How? I don't. I don't know anymore. Seriously. What? Another critical from Gordur. Unbelievable. Barrismong attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Attacks. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon on the spirit. And misses. Attacks again. Hits. Okay, that's easily calculable. Gordur attacks again and hits. Okay. Barrismong attacks Gordur. Misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Okay, I see. Attacks. Misses. Okay. Gordur attacks with reckless abandon. And misses. Attacks again. Misses. Attacks again. Hits. Okay, we got a hit. Gordur attacks again. Hits. Ooh. Once more. Hits. Gordur swings his axe. Lightning. And thunder. Scream out of it. Barrismong swings, stabs his sword towards Gordur. They both clash. Barrismong's sword pierces his shield. Pierces Gordur's shield. Gordur's axe strikes true at the ethereal form. The warrior looks blankly at Gordur. As it does, it hangs his head. And it's then the spirit dissipates slowly. Gordur breathes a small sigh of relief. But the sword, channeling the rage of two armies, erupts within Gordur's shield. Ethereal and spectral energies charge through it. They swarm. The energies swarm around Gordur. Gordur knows this, feeling all too well. Another calamity is about to befall the world. Gordur knew this was a risk. But in fighting Saria, he realized that sometimes a bad outcome is not the worst of them all. He is resigned to fate and is ready to face what comes next. Be he cursed the entire world, be it he gets lunged forward in time once more, or be it chaos ensues, he is ready to stand and face them, these challenges. He will do his best to protect this world from whatever evils are being wrought. The energy swirls into a blinding force. And Gordur fades to black. Passing out from the energies. And that is where we'll leave that. I hope you enjoyed. This is the end of the second tier of Gordur's adventure. The next one will be the third and final tier. We are fast approaching the end of Gordur's journey. If you made it this far, thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you all next time in the Twisted Worlds.